Rookie safety Brian Branch has looked very, very good on tape over the first 3 weeks, but really it was in week 3 where he really put it together. In week 3, you can see Brian Branch's instincts, his ability to play downhill, and really just take his game to the next level. Plays like this, where he was able to recognize that the Falcons are running an outside zone, and that if it's coming to his side, the best way for him to set the edge is really just to jump the gap. Keep in mind, he has a responsibility within this play to play the run fit all the way out here, right? He really needs to reset the line of scrimmage. And you can do that a couple of different ways. You can either take the tight end on and really try to fight through the block, or you can do what he does in this instance, which is just get right upfield and really take that on and get after it. Now, obviously, he was tasked with either some sort of blitz, or he had the option to go if he felt the run was actually going to come to his side. In this instance, he takes that, right? And he jumps the gap. And in this one, the running back here, Robinson, who's already one of the best running backs in the NFL, ends up losing 2 yards. To me, that's a really, really nice play. But this was not the only play Brian Branch made. This next one is even nicer if you guys ask me. He's in the slot. This is 3rd and 14, and he's going to get a hand on the football and break the pass up. It's interesting that the Lions are utilizing Branch in his true natural position, which is as a slot player, because a lot of people thought Brian Branch would come into the NFL and actually play safety, and that's not happening right now. And that shouldn't happen because his natural fit is in the slot. The guy's a very good coverage player, and you can see it on plays like this, where he does a really nice job, really squaring up the hips, really not getting turned at the top of the stem by the wide receiver, really stays on top of this, gets the left hand in there to ultimately slow down the receiver enough. All within 5 yards, so it's 100% legal. And to play off of that, get underneath it and break the pass up the way he does here. Again, this right here is part of what makes Brian Branch arguably one of the best slot players in the NFL. The guy's freaking impressive. And it's already flashing on tape. With that being stated, let's get into the next snap. Check this next play out. Brian Branch is going to do a great job reading, recognizing the play, and really getting to where he needs to get. And on this one, he's going to once again break the pass up. Now, this one's an interesting play because this is technically a cover 3, and you can see all of these corners really split that into the thirds. And based off of where Branch actually ends up, he is playing the vertical hooks. Now, what sticks out to me within this play is how quickly Branch is going to recognize that this is not an actual run. Although the quarterback's play actioning it, you can tell that Branch is going to recognize this play before the quarterback even finishes. Look at this. He's already turning out there. He's already getting out to where he needs to be. Right away. This is part of what makes this guy a unique football player. He's so quick as a processor. He's very instinctive. And more than that, right, to me, the most impressive part of this entire play, he's not just backpedaling and not actually looking to where he needs to be. You know, sometimes when you look at these players, they'll just backpedal and they don't actually turn and find the wide receiver. That's not happening here. As Branch is getting into his vertical hook, he's going to get his hands on the receiver. He's going to run directly to the wide receiver. And to me, this is a unique thing that he's doing because not every single safety or slot player, when they're playing those vertical hooks, is actually reading the wide receiver. And in this instance, he's right there and he's angry that he doesn't get that one. Obviously, the quarterback does throw it just a little high and he's not able to get there, but he does still break the pass up. And to me, this is special stuff by Brian Branch. He got his hands on the ball a number of times against the Falcons. And there's a couple clips at the end of this video I'll show you from past weeks as well. To me, it is very clear that Branch is one of the best young defenders in the NFL. And he fits that mold of playmakers out there in the secondary. Guys like Tyrann Mathieu and Budda Baker come to mind. I know those guys are true safeties and he's more of a slot player. But trust me, there's not a whole lot of slot players that look like Brian Branch right now. The guy's a unique football player and it's already flashing on tape. Alright guys, check this next rep out. A fantastic job by Brian Branch. Now, he is penalized on this play, and to me, not a massive deal if you get a penalty, especially in your rookie season, 3rd ever game in the NFL. But what's impressive to me is that what he's going to do within this play, and I know 99% of people are going to miss it, because I know a lot of people don't really focus in on the trenches. When you see Brian Branch here going up against Chris Lindstrom, who is arguably one of the best guards in the NFL, Lindstrom's trying to hook off Branch. But when you watch Branch use the hands right there to create that separation, to create that natural leverage to get off the block. That shit's special as hell. I don't know how else to tell you guys this, but that's one of the best guards in the NFL. He reaches on some of the best linebackers, some of the best safeties. He cuts guys off. He's able to shut those guys down. Again, never mind the penalty. That's one part of it. He'll have to clean that part of it up. But the fact that he's able to get off the block, the fact he's able to separate and really get past Chris Lindstrom, to me, is special as hell. That's a really, really nice job by a really young football player. Let's go ahead and get into the next snap. Check this next rep out here. There's two parts within this play. First and foremost, Brian Branch is going to do a great job getting into the vertical hook. Once again, he's going to run. He's going to really turn and look for the player that's running into the vertical hook, right? It is a cover 3. So once again, he has the vertical hook area, which is underneath the corner, who's taking the bottom third. So Branch really has to make up depth on this one. And I love the fact that he turns his head and he really runs to where these guys are. He's not going to just kind of look towards the quarterback and not realize the depth of these players. And on this one, the quarterback's looking downfield. The quarterback's thinking of possibly taking the shot. And Branch is right there. So I love that within this play. Now, he makes a mistake as well in this play, which is he's not going to make the tackle on the running back. 2nd and 5. If you're able to somehow bring the running back down, it may be a 3rd and 1 situation where you're able to ultimately get off the field. But in this one, he's not able to do that. So Branch does have to just clean that part of it up. Not a big deal, but I did want to show you guys this play because there was a teaching element within it. Plus, he does do a good job initially. Just got to wrap up, bring the guy down. Not a big deal. 3rd ever NFL game. Let's go ahead and get into the next snap. You got another really, really nice play again by Brian Branch. Once again, he's going to jump the gap. Once again, he's going to blow the play up. Now, this one's more interesting to me than the last one because with this one, he's going to jump the gap to the inside of the tackle, which is different than being the furthest guy to the outside and jumping the outside of, possibly an outside block of a tight end. This one's more of he has to get through the middle. And it's interesting to me how he attacks. Now, I'm not sure if there's some sort of coaching element within this that, hey, you're good to go. You're good to blitz on these plays. Because what if the quarterback ultimately pulls this, right? Is Brian Branch going to turn around and try to make up ground and possibly get back? Or is he going to just go after the quarterback? That's going to be an interesting thing to kind of keep in mind as we go through some of his tape now, as well as we get into some future tape. But again, great job by Branch. Wraps up, brings down the running back. And this one here loses 3 yards. Again, beautiful, beautiful wrap by the young defensive back. Let's go ahead and get into the next snap. Check this next play out. One of the most important things that a defensive back has to do is he has to be able to tackle specifically out in the open space. And I know this is a quarterback, and I understand that most defensive backs do tackle quarterbacks, but there are some quarterbacks that will break defensive backs. They'll, outrun them. They'll be able to juke past them. Make a guy miss. We've seen it with guys like Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson and some of these faster quarterbacks that'll get out in space. And when it's a true one-on-one situation, they'll make a man miss. And you can see Branch does not do that. The quarterback even tries to fake the pass here. Watch this. He's going to get the ball right there, pretend like he's going to throw it. It's going to make Branch stutter just a little bit, but not so much that he gets off of it. He sticks with it, and he brings the quarterback down. This one only gains a yard, so this is a really, really nice play right here by Branch. Check this next rep out. Talk about instincts, the ability to read, react, attack, and get to the football. And then within all of that, be able to actually make the tackle. You got Kyle Pitts here out in open space. The guy's dangerous possibly, right? This isn't necessarily open space exactly, but really, really nice job by Brian Branch to blow this play up. So you do have a screen attempt towards that side. And you're going to see him just basically run right past the blocker here. And as he gets past him, look at this. I mean, to me, it doesn't get better than that. That's such a nice job by a young rookie player. Kyle Pitts is entering year 3. And Pitts makes people miss, right? The guy can break tackles. But you can see Branch, he's one of those guys that's a sure tackler. He's one of those guys that's pretty solid out in space, can move well. And this one loses 4 yards on 2nd and 10. That's a fantastic job. Check this next rep out. Branch is going to set the edge and make the play on this one. This one looks like some sort of split zone concept, but just a great job once again by Branch. At this point, I'm pretty sure Branch is not blitzing. He's more so of playing the run. He's more so of just setting the edge. To me, it seems like the Lions linebackers and safeties that have true run fits really try to get downhill. And Branch is definitely just doing his job. And on this one right here, it's just a gain of 1 yard. This is 1st and 10. But this is such a great winning play for the Detroit Lions defense. To get into a 2nd and 9 situation is exactly where you want to be as a defense. Again, Branch really sets that edge, really gets out there, and basically grabs onto a really, really good running back and then brings them down. It's a beautiful job. Now, I do want to just state this in the final play from this game, and I want to show you guys just a couple snaps from his previous games, is he did have 2 penalties against the Falcons. So you got to clean that up. You cannot have multiple penalties. Here's the other penalty. This one's going to be for obviously the hit. I'm not sure if it was a helmet to helmet, but this was a penalty, and you can see it coming out. And Branch did officially get tagged with 2 penalties. So to me, got to do a better job. But I do also want to state this. You know, sometimes there's something to be said about being physical and setting the tone, about hitting someone, right? And letting them know that this is kind of what you should expect the rest of this game, right? So there is some aspect of it where you want a guy like Branch to be hitting people. You want guys to be fired up for these type of plays. Now, I want to wrap this video up and just show you guys a couple more snaps from the previous 2 games. As we've talked about instincts, this is a 3rd and 2 right here against the Seattle Seahawks. And Branch is going to make the play short of the 1st down. To me, that is what you want right there by a young defensive back. To be able to read, recognize, process, attack, wrap up, bring a guy down short of the sticks is unique as hell. And this is a cover 1 man-to-man situation. And the guy that catches this ball is not Brian Branch's guy. You guys can see Branch is lined up on Jackson Smith-Njigba, the rookie. And he's going to recognize that the quarterback's going to actually throw the ball. And he's going to attack. He's going to get off his guy, recognize, make the play short of the 1st down sticks. That's a really, really, really smart football play. And of course, the final play is going to be the pick 6 that Branch had earlier on. Yeah, I get it. It's a drop pass, and someone's going to say, oh, it's easy, it's this, it's that. But it's not as easy as some people are saying, right? He still has to read, he still has to recognize, and he still has to be able to actually catch the football. Now, initially, the Lions did a great job not really showing what this coverage actually was. They made it seem like it may be some man-to-man defense across the board, but it's actually a cover 4. And Branch actually has to cover not only the flats, but he also has to cover the vertical hooks, right? He's really responsible for the underneath coverage of this side of the field. And when you see the receiver here, keep in mind the corner on the backside isn't a lock concept, so although it's cover 4, this is man-to-man. And as the quarterback's going to throw the ball, Branch still has to be able to recognize that the receiver not only dropped the football, but look at him change his positioning. Look at him change his body positioning to be able to stop himself and really just catch it with one hand. And of course, he takes it the distance. To me, Brian Branch is one of the best young players. And I don't know how else to state it other than just stating it. The guy has all pro upside. The guy has the potential to be one of the best slot / safeties, whatever you want to call him. He obviously plays slot, but you know, he's going to be one of the best in the NFL. If he played as a true safety, he'd be one of the best at that. If he continues to play slot, as he currently is, he's going to be one of the best at that. He's so special looking on tape, and he's only played 160 snaps in the NFL. So look out for Brian Branch to become one of the most dominant players in the NFL. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys next time with another Lions film breakdown.